Our early attempts at a podcast went through several preparations. Preparations A through G were a complete failure. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you Preparation H. What?
I mean, come on. Why don't you just call it Preparation Ass Cream, you ass?
I'm sorry, do you want ice cream, Scott?
Yes, I would love some chocolate ass cream.
Maybe later. I like how that ends up continuing on.
Yes.
Because number 2 jumps in and he's
I love this plan, Dr. Evil.
He's like, yeah, it's a good plan, right? Like, yeah. Yeah, I feel like the plan is really good on the whole.
It's like, yes, Preparation H does feel really good on the whole.
I love it how it's like Scott is the only one who understands the humor in this whole thing.
Yeah.
But I mean
Frau and number 2, like they've been around like this whole time because there's always something, you know. First, Dr. Evil was frozen for, you know, all those years. And then he was in outer space. So it's like he's not around for all these things like, you know, Preparation H or anything like that. So they just like don't know.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Dr. Evil was the only one that was frozen. So
yeah,
everybody else, that's why everybody else is aged.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you know, number 2 could have been like, well, Dr. Evil, I love the plan, but, you know, we might want to consider another name.
Yeah. Name change would be appropriate at this point.
Yeah. I'd be like, what? Why?
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Preparation H is an ass cream.
If you haven't figured it out yet, we're doing Austin Powers 3.
Yes.
I forgot to preface the episode with that.
And I'm really hoping that you guys are going back through our catalog, as extensive as it is, and looking for Austin Powers and Austin Powers 2. We haven't done them yet.
No, we're Quentin Tarantinoing this bitch. We're going worst to best. Maybe. I don't know. You don't know. Maybe we'll go 3-1-2. You never know.
We may never even do the other 2.
It's, you know, we like to keep you guessing. That's the one thing that we're consistent with. That's right. You never know what to expect.
I think the only time that we've ever done this is in our very early episodes. We did Ace Ventura, and then right after, immediately, we did Ace Ventura 2.
Yeah.
I think those 2 are back to back.
So whenever we do movies that had multiple sequels, have
we done that?
Yeah.
I think the only other one I can think of is Deadpool.
No, we did Ace Ventura 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, but aside from Ace Ventura, the only other one I can think of that had a sequel is Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
Unless there was another guys too.
Well, let me retract my statement. Let me rephrase, if you will. Whenever I'm watching movies that have multiple episodes or multiple sequels, I like to go on to IMDb and look at the timeline. Like, what year did these movies come out? And so with the Austin Powers trilogy, the first one was 97.
Yes.
The second one was 99.
Yes.
99. And then the third one was 2002.
Right.
So it's just kind of interesting to look back and think, like, what was going on during those years? Like 97, I was still in high school.
She had already graduated.
And
but
it's funny because the first one that I ever saw was the second one.
Weird.
And it was the first DVD I had ever watched.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's even weirder.
Yeah. And I was at my girlfriend at the time. I was at my girlfriend's friend's house. You know, I think his parents were out of town, and it was so he just had the place to himself, and he just had this big ass TV in the living room and a DVD player. I thought it was like the coolest thing. I'm like, well, must be fucking nice. Ass.
Went out the next day and bought my own DVD player.
Shit. But you know, that's something that's always stood out in my mind is like, what is a DVD? How does this work? And I was just blown away. You don't have to rewind anything. It's crazy.
Ooh, that looks fun. Ooh, this looks fun.
Yeah, right? So before we started recording, when we've been talking about doing this one for a while, and you had expressed your dislike for this movie. So let's get the elephant out of the room now.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, it's I don't want to say that this is kind of like when not when I made my stance against Eurotrip. Eurotrip, I've infinitely hate that movie. I don't like it. I've never liked it. I never even saw other people's appeals in that movie. And when we watched it again to do that episode, I was like, yep, nope, still hate it.
Stand my ground.
Yep. And I'm still standing my ground to this day. But Austin Powers 3, I remember, I don't want to say that I hated it, but out of the trilogy, that was definitely my least favorite. Like, to me, we were talking about this before we started recording. To me, it is like from best to worst, it is literally 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Like, the second one is the second best, but the first one, nothing can ever live up to the first one. But I still believe that Austin Powers should have just been a one-off.
One movie.
Yeah. And, I do understand also that it's like, well, I mean, come on, it was such a huge success. We can make so much more money, but
Let's ride this gravy train as far as it'll go.
Right into the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It seems like people can learn their lesson from Police Academy, damn it. There doesn't need to be 13 of them.
Yes. I say 1 through 12 were a complete failure.
Yes, but we're going to knock it out of the park with this one.
Lucky number 13.
And be like, no, you're not.
Way to go, a-holes. So, there is another trilogy that I think kind of falls into the same line, and that was the
Star Wars?
The original, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes, yeah, it does fall into the same line. I mean, the first one was obviously the best, and then you got 2 and 3. The thing with that, not to go off on like a huge side tangent about it and take focus away from this, but in the second one, I think that the lines, like the dialogue, was funnier than the first one.
Right.
But there was not any like karate action like there was in the first one. And the reason being was because probably a bunch of Bretts and Karens got together and they're like, our kids are watching this. So like
trying to promote violence or whatever.
Yeah. So there is one scene in the junkyard in the second one where all the foot come out of nowhere and Leonardo has his hands on his swords and he goes to take them out, but never takes them out. He just puts them back in the sheath.
Oh, I know what you... No, yeah, so there was less use of weapons in the second one.
Yeah, and it's just like, I mean, weapons are always going to be there. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you didn't save the day.
It's part of who they are.
Yeah.
It's how you can identify them by the weapons that they use. You know?
Exactly. So,
but yeah, I know what you mean. So, all right. So jumping back to Austin Powers 3, what's your standout scene? Like, what's one of your favorite moments from the movie?
Honestly, I mean, there are a few, but I mean, one of the scenes that I watched it a few times last night, back to back. And one of the scenes that I just emphatically love and laughed so hard at is the scene when they're on the submarine and maybe it's the way Dr. Evil is standing, because he's standing there with his like chest out like he always is and his hands on his hips and he's like, lower the globe. And Frau yells it and it just drops right on his head and he was like, way to go, numbnuts. He's like, now I'm a freaking Jack in the Box.
And the way that thing lands on his head, I don't know how they pulled it off, but it looked like it would have hurt.
It does.
Even if it's staged, the sound effect that they added, it made it look like it sounded heavy.
But then, so number 2 helps him get the globe off and he was like, okay. And then he's standing there again to the side of it and he was like, drop the meteor. And then Frau yells it and Mini-Me throws it off the catwalk. And it nails him right in the nuts. And he just falls over and he's like, way to go, a-hole.
He's like, all right, I got to check that they're all there.
Yeah.
Like, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, that was definitely a good scene. I like when... Well, first of all, hats off to Beyonce. Because she's known for being a very successful musician, singer.
Right.
She's extremely talented.
I've heard of her.
And I thought that she did a really good job in this role. Like, she took this seriously. And I actually watched the movie with the commentary on. And they even mentioned, like, one of the directors was talking about how great she was to work with, how she would, the scenes that she was not in, she was actually watching Mike Myers in his scenes, and she was, like, actively taking notes and, like, watching how the process goes, and, like, huge amount of respect for her for, like, taking this seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen her in a lot of movies.
I don't know if I've seen her in anything since, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, I think that she did a phenomenal job in this movie.
So she committed to this role. She did a great job with the sassy kind of, like, 70s, whatever you want to call. Like, she's playing that, I guess, that era, somebody from that era very well.
Yeah. I think the only line that I really didn't care for in her dialogue was,
I know which one. I think I know which one. Let me see if I'm right.
Is when Goldmember takes Nigel to the future, and then they get in his car, and she was like, "I want to go to the future with you." It's like it's out of place.
Yeah.
Like, because all of a sudden it's just like, I mean, if you're in 1975, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I'm going to take this guy to the future, and she's just kind of like, what? Like, huh? But then immediately she's just like, oh, I've accepted this.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay. Yeah. I mean, whereas most people would be like, I'm sorry, I still can't just fathom what I just saw.
It's literally like 2 scenes later.
Yeah. And then he was like, I got to get to 2002. And then she was like, I want to go to the future with you. And it's just like, I mean, the line is out of place.
So that's not the line that I was expecting you to say, but it was the same scene that I'm thinking of. I thought you were going to say when it's like, because I'm Foxxy Cleopatra and I'm a whole lot of woman.
Oh, no. I was... I had to go take a cold shower after she said that.
Of course.
That's a given.
But yeah, like, she had never heard of a time machine before. And in that scene where Goldmember and I think Dr. Evil went into the time machine, she's like, time whatty?
Yeah.
Like, what? And now she's all about going to the future. So yeah, I see what you mean. And the other thing, when Austin's about to go back in time to 1975, he's got the pimp mobile.
Yeah.
And then you see Basil, like, leaning into the window, and it's like, it's a pimp mobile, man. And Basil's like, he's like, yeah, we kind of took notes as, from the previous machine that we had, and we thought for going to 1975, this would have been like an appropriate vehicle to use or whatever. And
well, Basil says, he was like, I knew it would tickle your fancy.
Yeah, and then that's when he grabs the fuzzy dice and he's like,
he's like, good cough, Basil, cough.
And this is one thing that I can't say I've always disliked, but movies that have something to do with time travel where they just put in the year.
Yeah.
Like, you're not picking a specific day or time.
Yeah.
You're just 1975. It's like, we're going to take you to the entire year in one moment. Like, how does that work? So I didn't like that.
I think they kind of play on that, like in the very first one, is when he was like, wait, you have a time machine? He's like, why don't you just go back in time and kill him while he's on the crapper or something? And he was like,
how about no, Scott?
He's like, Scott, you just don't get it.
But it just so happens that by Basil typing in 1975, it happens to put his time machine in the exact location, in the exact place and moment where he can go in and find a Goldmember without any issues. The other thing that stands out to me, and this is not me trying to be like overly critical, but if you look at the way that everybody else is dancing, they're in this club in New York.
Right.
And a lot of the people are dressed in more like earth tones. So like warmer colors, like browns and golds and things like that. And Austin's wearing this like
obnoxiously
bright blue
purple.
with like white, fur.
Well, he's got that big pimp coat on. And
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
with the big pimp hat.
Yeah, and then but
platform shoes.
It's like, so he completely stands out. Like, he doesn't fit in to that era, but people just kind of accept it. And I think it's probably because he did exist in that time frame before he was frozen. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Something you just
I
kind
know.
of.
I know he got frozen in 1969 in the
think
first
so,
one,
yeah.
and then got thawed out in like 97 or 96 or whenever. Because I mean, it came out in 97, but I think it would have been filmed in 96. So it's like he missed that entire frame, but you know they do show him watching all those tapes and everything of all the stuff that he's missed.
Yeah.
It's, who would have thought Liberace was gay?
Total mind blow.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't live in 1975, but I think people knew of him. So maybe it's just because he's a spy.
Yeah, and his legend precedes him.
Or maybe they don't know who he is. They just accept that he's there. I don't know. Who knows? But the Japanese twins. I love that scene.
Fook me.
God,
So hot. They are so hot.
so hot.
I know. I meant to look them up to find out if they're still just as hot as they were then.
I did look them up, but I think the pictures that are on there are
Probably
like
from
older.
that movie.
Older. No, it wasn't from the movie, but I think it was just from that time frame. So it's like 22 years ago. But I love, so she approaches him like, "Oh, Austin Powers, you're so sexy fool.
Yeah.
Can I have your autograph?"
He's like, yes. And what's your name?
Fuck me.
I'm sorry. He's like, but then he was like,
He's like, "Don't tempt me."
behave.
Right, don't tempt me with
It's
a good time. So,
But
something
he's like, but what's your name?
"Oh, fuck me."
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
I love how serious his face gets. The timing on that was spot on too, because as soon as she says it, "You kiss your mother with that mouth."
Yeah. And then she was like, no. And she turns around in her backpack.
No, like this. Fuck me.
Oh,
your name is Fuck me.
But then I like it because he, you know, she runs off. She was like, "You want a drink?" And then he was like, "Yes, but I have a private bar in the back." It's just, you know, and then she turns around and she's there with the Heineken. And he was like, "Fuck me, that was fast."
Oh, fuck you.
It's like, oh, he's like, "You're heading the right way to a smack bottom, and I don't care who knows about it."
And then the other one shows up.
Yeah,
He's like, "No,
you realize
this
it's
is
twins.
this is my sister."
And she's fuck you, and I'm fuck me. Fuck you, fuck me. And
So they end up on that bed in that round room. And,
yeah, they did.
And he's holding the Heineken that explodes at one
Yeah.
point. I swear this never happens. But then Basil shows up out of nowhere and is like, "Twins, Basil."
Actually, right before Basil shows up,
He's got his notepad.
he got his notepad. And if you read the things off, it's like things to do list. And number one is become an international man of mystery.
I didn't actually stop it to read the whole list of things that he's already crossed out.
Yeah.
But there was 2 items left, I think.
One of them was a threesome with Japanese twins.
Yep. And the
which
last
he was
one,
crossing off.
and the last one is earn his father's respect.
But there is one that says, and we'll touch on this right after I tell you. But I think right before the Japanese twins one, it said, foil Dr. Evil in the first act.
Oh,
And that was crossed off.
awesome.
Yeah, because that's kind of how the movie starts when they're talking about the preparation H and everything. And then Austin and the team just run in and they're like, "That's it, Dr. Evil, you're under arrest." And he's like, "You're completely surrounded." And Evil's just sitting there and he's like, "Shit."
Yeah, because right before that happens, he says, "And the best part about it is no one will be able to stop me."
And everyone just runs in.
I do like that I watched the movie with the commentary on, because I like finding things about the movie that I may not have known otherwise. And the one thing that stands out about the third movie compared to the other two is First of all, I think in the first one, I don't think Dr. Evil had blue eyes.
No, they progressively got bluer.
And then the third one, they're like
Crystal.
they're ridiculously
Obnoxiously blue.
But Mike Myers was saying how painful it was to wear those contacts.
I just don't know why he wore them in the first place.
It seemed unnecessary.
It was very unnecessary.
But what he was saying is he made a solid attempt during the close-up shots to like not blink. But if you notice the scenes where he's farther away, he's like blinking constantly because it just bothered his eyes so much. But specifically the scene where he's in jail and Frau comes to visit.
Yeah.
You can actually see how red his eyes were because they were irritated. He said, I don't know if dust got into them or something. He's like, but that day, he's like, they were hurting even more than usual.
Man.
But so
see, and even at that point, I mean, because you kind of imagine that they have to do like test footage and everything. So if they put before they even start filming, so if they get the contacts in, I mean, it just seems like Mike Myers would have been like, no, this is obnoxiously painful. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to do this because I mean, it was probably 20 years since I had seen Goldmember. So it's probably been around that same time frame that I've seen The Spy Who Shagged Me. And I can't remember exactly what his eyes look like in that movie. So it's just like, I don't know why you would go from, because I think in the first movie, it was just his natural
regular
eye color.
eyes. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know why you would want to go to like that obnoxious.
Yeah, because they did a flashback in the third movie. Because when Austin visits Dr. Evil in prison.
I told you and I weren't so different.
And then it cuts to the flashback and you see Dr. Evil with brown eyes.
Yeah.
And he's like,
we're not so different, you and I. And he was like, see, I did say that.
But so that part where Dr. Evil runs towards the door and it actually opens.
Yeah.
And then he just starts looking around all like, oh. And
Don't
then
worry.
he just shuts it. I'll get it.
I got it.
That was improvised.
Was it?
Yeah. I don't think the door was supposed to open.
That's funny.
But they left it in and it was great. Like, I love that part.
I do like it when he's telling him, he was like, because when he runs up to the door the first time, because it doesn't open then. So,
right. But Austin jumps back.
Yeah. But he slams his hands and he was like, think back to that day.
Yeah, it does the flashback. And I love the casting that they did for playing them in the academy.
Oh, it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. I mean, that was like, a lot of times when I watch movies and it shows like, someone that's young, it shows like someone that's older, but then they have a flashback to when they're young and they pick some completely random person to play. And it's like, yeah, I couldn't see that guy growing up to be that guy.
No, not at all.
But literally all those people, I'm like, I could see them growing up to be that person.
Absolutely.
So
the kid that they got to play, and I say kid, but I think they're supposed to be college age kids, so maybe early to mid 20s. But yeah, this kid looks just like Austin.
I know, but it's funny because they look like, I mean, seriously, the kid that's doing Austin looks like he's 14.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. But I do like when it's like Master Powers, and then down at the bottom it's like Master Evil.
Yeah.
But when he comes in and shuts the door, and then
he's in bed with that French chick.
Yeah, and then he's like, crikey.
He's like, why don't you try knocking, man?
I like when she gets up and she was like, oh, don't forget, Austin, later you have a brief oral history on, like, whatever. I couldn't make out what the hell she was saying.
Well, I hope it's more oral and not so brief, baby.
What I mean. You know what I mean? Because you see
like,
what I did there.
Oral, brief, exactly.
But I do like when he's accepting the award. Because you just mentioned a few minutes ago where it was like earn father's respect. Mm-hmm. But when he gets selected to be the International Man of Mystery, not Dr. Evil, because that's what they were thinking, was that Dr. Evil was going to get it because he was number one in the class. But then even the guy that grows up to be number two comes up still with the eye patch on. So I really wish they had gone on to explain how that happened.
Yeah, but it's interesting because the guy that plays Basil, as the young Basil, sounds exactly like Basil.
Yeah.
Like the real guy playing Basil. And in the commentary, they even mentioned that. I think a lot of people thought that the voices were dubbed, like using the original actors to do the voices. He's like, no, that was them. They just sounded so much like the other character that it just worked.
Man.
So it seemed so forced. But yeah, Basil sounded spot on. Number 2 even sounded.
Yeah, like, whoever that guy was, I mean, he did a good Robert Wagner.
And you know who he was?
Robert Wagner Jr.?
No.
Oh, no, I have no idea.
He was in that spoof show, I think that was on MTV, called Together, where it was about a boy band. So it was like a parody boy band thing.
Ooh.
That even had, I want to say Andy Richter was in it, but I could be wrong. I always get Andy Richter confused with the guy that's in...
Everything Else?
No, he's the thing with Jack Black, the band with Jack Black.
Oh, Tenacious D?
I can never remember the band's name. I get him confused with that guy, but I think I might be wrong. I think it's just a random fat white dude, and that's probably...
Yeah, I mean, well, the difference between them is the guy from Tenacious D is bald, and Andy Richter is not.
Yeah, I don't know why.
What's more vulnerable than a peach?
I don't know why I get them confused. I feel like their voices sound similar. Maybe that's it. That's the only similarity between the two.
Possibly.
But one thing that I noticed in that flashback scene, it does a couple close-ups of Dr. Evil sitting in the audience, sitting in the chairs. It looks like they have like a piece of glass behind him, separating him from like the people behind him. I don't know why they would have done that, but if you look closely, you'll actually see his reflection in the background.
Really?
So like, I just could not figure out why they would have needed to put a piece of glass there.
And they didn't say anything in the commentary?
No.
About it? Weird.
No.
Huh.
The only thing that I can think of is if it was maybe it was windy that day and they needed the glass to block the wind from the microphones. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's me just spitballing. I'm not sure.
I'll text Mike Myers later and see if I can get an answer.
Please let me know, because I lost sleep last night over this. Another funny scene that stands out is when they go to confront Fat Bastard, who makes his second appearance in the Austin Powers trilogy.
Yeah.
And, he's become a sumo wrestler, and, he's trying to be more disciplined and everything. And
I tried going legit. I mean, I take the sumo wrestling seriously.
He's like...
Or however he talks.
He's like, I've tried that. He's like, it hurts my feelings when you call me fat. He's like, I've tried the diet plans, the zone. Oh, carbs are our enemy and all that. But the one thing that I was reminded of watching this movie is like the similarities in Fat Bastard's voice and Shrek.
Last night when I was watching it, the youngest.
Yeah. He thought you were watching Shrek.
Well, no, he was in the room and he was like, how come that guy sounds like Shrek? And I was like, because the guy that's playing this part does the voice for Shrek.
That's awesome.
And then it's funny because, my lady, she was sitting there and she was like, wow, that's a really good observation.
Yeah. So
I was like, yeah, no, I tried telling her. I was like, he knows his shit.
He does. That's why you got to watch what you say around him.
But going back to that scene, Evil thinks he's getting the International Man of Mystery, but they select Austin. And then he gets up there and he has his like little medallion and everything. And he was like, stand up, Dad, take a bow. And he's not there.
Reserved for Nigel Powers.
Yeah. But in the few scenes before that, Austin actually gets knighted for catching Dr. Evil in the first act. And then he's standing there and he was like, stand up, Dad, take a bow. And he's not there. But when Basil says, he was like, your father's been kidnapped. And he was like, oh. And that's why
he wasn't at the knighting ceremony.
He's like, no, actually, he got kidnapped after.
It's like, well, shit.
I think the perfect casting was done for Nigel Powers. I mean, Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he's a phenomenal actor.
And one thing that Mike said in the commentary was that he would go up to Michael Caine trying to do an impression of him to his face, and he would just say, like repeatedly, my name is Michael Caine. And he would just do that, and then Michael Caine would say back to him, he's like, no. He's like, you're putting too much pause after my name is. It's just like, I just thought that was funny, man.
That is funny. Funny and random.
It is so freaking random. Like, because I don't know if they've worked together prior to this movie.
I don't believe that they did, but I mean, I could be wrong because Michael Caine, I mean, he's been in a shit ton of movies.
Right.
But I mean, the only thing I can think of, and I mean, I don't know off the top of my head, but I mean, maybe Michael Caine hosted SNL one year, but like I said, I can't think of it. I can't think of him ever hosting it. Yeah. But then again, I could never think of Christopher Walken hosting Saturday Night Live. But he's done it a few different times.
And all his characters are the same.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters. Going back to Fat Bastard, it's always bothered me how Austin Powers says his name. You know, because Austin, he has a British accent.
Right.
But when he says Fat Bastard, he doesn't say Fat Bastard. He says Fat Bastard. So it's like, why are you saying fat that way?
I know. I noticed that last night watching it.
So that's always bothered me. It's like, I don't know if that was a conscious decision or if it just happened that way and they just left it.
Yeah. That I don't know. I mean, but I do know what you're talking about because I've noticed that because I think I even noticed it in the second one where I was like, what? Mm-hmm. Like, all right then.
Yeah. But you have Foxxy Cleopatra, and she's wheeling the laundry cart, and Austin's hiding in it. Yeah. And then she's passing by all the sumo wrestlers who are taking off their diapers, whatever the hell they're called.
I don't know what they're called either, but that's what Fat Bastard says. He's like, here's my diaper lady.
Yeah.
But then he's like smelling. He's like, ooh. He's like,
I think I might have pinched one off a little early. He's like, I left a rosebud in there for you. And then he throws it in. But you see Austin getting progressively more disgusted with all the diapers that are getting thrown on top of him. Because he's like, they're right in his face.
Yeah. And one thing I've always heard about Mike Myers as a person, like, which I think it's odd.
I've heard the same thing.
When people are like this, or not even when people, but when actors are like this, where it's just like, he doesn't like to be touched.
He doesn't like to be touched. I've heard the same thing.
And it's like, well, how can you act? Because, you know, that's like something. I mean, it's the same thing with Howie Mandel.
Yes.
Like, Howie Mandel just doesn't like to be touched.
Well, Howie Mandel is actually diagnosed with OCD. So, yeah. But I don't think Mike is. I think that's just something that he can't stand. But what's weird, because this character, he had so many scenes where there was physical contact. So
right.
You wonder how difficult that was for him to get through.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like not even just the scenes themselves. I mean, if you don't like being touched, I mean, you have someone doing your hair, you have someone doing your makeup, you have someone helping you put on clothes.
Wardrobe,
I mean, that's a lot of people touching you.
And in his case, because he's playing multiple characters that require extensive makeup.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean,
really?
Kudos to him for going through it.
Yeah. I mean, God, it's like, gotta pick a different profession.
Seriously. But I mean, God, Foxy. God.
I know.
Beyonce looked so great in this role. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, she still looks good, but I mean,
yeah.
She just
object of my every masturbatory fantasy.
Good choice. Good casting choice for this.
Good gravy, man.
But like I said, like, and the director who was in the commentary also, like, he even mentioned, it's like just the way that she behaved on the set and the way that she was to work with. It's like she was raised right. You know, she was very respectful. And when I hear that about celebrities, it's like, so there is hope.
Yeah.
Because you don't hear that about a lot of them. Most of the stuff that you hear, it's like negative.
Yeah.
So I like hearing when celebrities are actually like really down to earth and actually like good, decent people, you know?
Yeah. And I think one of the things also that, you know, because I've said this to people before, like, everybody's allowed to have a bad day. I can kind of understand because, actors, they're the same as everyone else in the world. I mean, I've met famous people in my life and I just walk up to them like they're just Joe Schmo that I'd go and get a beer with. I don't run up to him and be like, oh my God, you're so-and-so. And oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. Can I have an autograph? Because that would just totally make my day.
No, you walk up to him and you say, hi, I'm Keith.
Yeah. It's like, hey, what's going on, bud? Like, hey, how you doing? And then it's like, oh yeah. I was like, hey. And I mean, I was like, I try not to bother them because I look at them the same way I look at myself. I don't want to be bothered.
Here's a video of my nephew.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, that's not how you take a selfie.
Yeah. But it's things like that. But I mean, I've heard of so many stories where it's just like, people are like, well, and I understand, like, if you're out to dinner and you don't want to be bothered, then you don't want to be bothered. But at the same time, it's like, I've heard some celebrities sit there and say, you have no right to come up to me and start talking to me, ask for my autograph, ask for a picture, or anything like that. And it's like, you're the one that put yourself in the position to be famous.
Right.
And people want to meet famous people.
They do. So,
yeah, they do have every right to walk up to you and talk to you and ask to have a picture with you.
When you're in a public setting, yeah.
Yeah.
It's par for the course.
Yeah. I mean, people have walked up to me in a public setting. I'm not famous. Yet.
Give it time.
But people have walked up to me and just started talking to me. I mean, I have no right to be an asshole and just be like, no. I mean, but then again, everybody knows how outgoing I am. So
that scene in Bad Santa comes to mind. I'm eating my fucking lunch. Oh my God. So we haven't talked about one of my favorite characters in this entire movie, which is Goldmember.
Yeah. I totally forgot about him.
Yeah. He's in the title, for Pete's sake.
No. Goldmember, I mean, also played by Mike Myers, but any dialogue that he has in the movie is hysterical. I mean, especially when we were talking about, before we started recording, just the scene when he was like, yes, I kidnapped his Faja. And then Dr. Evil's like, Faja? Faja?
Austin Powers, Faja.
He's like, Faja? He's like, are you saying Faja? Faja? And he's like, yes, Faja. Faja. And then he's just like, his dad. Dad is Faja. Faja is dad. And he's like, oh, his father.
Father. But before that, he's like, I don't speak freaky deaky Dutch. But he's saying something about, he's like, can I paint his Johnson gold or whatever? He's like, and then he wheels his chair towards him and he's like, how about no, you crazy Dutch bastard? But it's like,
I've actually done that to people like at work. I'll be sitting in my shop and everything, and we have some of the chairs in there are ones that are on wheels. And just to be funny, it's like, my coworker will be sitting over on one side of the shop. I'll be sitting on the other and working on something, and he'll be like, well, how about after this we get into this? And I'll roll over all the way to him and like kind of get right next to him and just be like, how about no? And then wheel all the way back. It
is funny how they were like shitting on the Dutch like throughout this entire movie.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what that was. Like even Nigel Powers, like he was
just hates the Dutch.
He's like, there's like two groups of people
there's two types of people
that I hate. It's like people who discriminate based on other people's like backgrounds, and the Dutch.
Yeah. But he says it so fervently, like,
yes.
Oh, like it's almost like in real life,
you feel
Sir
like
Michael
he does.
Caine hates the Dutch.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that same impression too. Going back to the actually no, I want to touch on Goldmember. I want to touch on that Goldmember, man. His commentary where he just injects certain things in different scenes.
Yeah.
I just find so funny because it's so understated, but it was an intentional choice.
Yeah.
Where it's like other people are talking and he just kind of under his breath will inject something, like the scene where Scott's going through a transition.
Right. He's becoming more evil. He's becoming so evil. Frau even says it. He's becoming so evil, he's starting to lose his hair.
Yeah, and there's a couple moments where Scott shows up and he's got even less and less hair, and then Dr. Evil looks over him like, oh! But yeah, there's that scene where it's like...
all right, it's getting crowded in here. Everybody out. And he's like, Scott, no, not you.
Not you, Scott. Not you, number two. Not you, Frau. Not you, henchman in the back.
Yeah, not you, henchman carrying that huge wrench. It was like, not you, henchman that's
arbitrarily turning knobs, pretending to do something.
There's only one person left.
But this is one of the scenes, because Goldmember's like, oh, the little one doesn't get it. He's too small.
I do like another thing that he does throughout the movie is like, I think there's one scene, and I can't remember. I know he's talking to Austin Powers, and I can't remember what the premise of the conversation was.
I was like, you look very toit. Like you're toit like a toy guy. You're like a macho man. Village people.
Yeah. Every time he did, and he was like, because that's the way. I like it. Casey and the Sunshine Band.
But I don't know why they did the whole thing with the skin, like the peeling skin.
That was so disgusting.
Because even that one scene
that's
where
a keeper.
It's like, put this in the skin box.
Yeah, and he's like, quickly.
Save me from myself. But then there's another one where he's at Dr. Evil's lair or his submarine.
And he gets the one off his shoulder and eats it.
He peels it off of his back.
Yeah.
and he's like, you're not going to put that in your... Oh.
You are.
He's like, oh, it's good. It's salty. That was a good one. I do like at the very end of the movie how they transition to John Travolta playing Goldmember.
Yeah. I see, and I like the way the movie starts because it's almost like, a big Mission Impossible type of thing. And I was actually going to ask you this. Tom Cruise is known for doing his own stunts. It doesn't matter what the stunt is. I mean, he's just going to do his own stunts. I wonder if he did his own stunts in Austin Powers to play Austin Powers in Austin Pussy.
Watching the scene, I could tell that it was done with like CGI, where he does that flip over the helicopter.
Yeah,
it looks completely fake. But he could have been up on a rig with wires and then just spinning.
But when he parachutes down and everything, I'm like, I wonder if that's really Tom Cruise, or if he was only available for like not even a 1-day shoot. He was like, yeah, I can give you like 2 hours. They
didn't mention that at all in the commentary. If I had to guess, I would say no, not for this one.
Yeah, I did like all the cameos because you got Tom Cruise playing Austin Powers. Then you got Gwyneth Paltrow playing Dixie Normus. Then you got Kevin Spacey playing Dr. Evil. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here's Danny DeVito. And he's like, hey, assholes, I'm over here. It's me, mini-me.
I'm trying to remember what Kevin Spacey's line was.
It's like, this is one doctor that
doesn't make house calls.
Yeah. It's so stupid. Oh, but no. And then at the end, you have John Travolta, who plays Goldmember. And I even like when he turns around and he's like, hey, assholes. He's like, I'm from Holland. Isn't that weird?
But then he starts doing like a shimmy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm trying to think of some other.
The only other scene that really comes to mind is, it doesn't come to mind, but his character in the movie. And after we talk about this guy, we'll wrap this episode up. But is number 3, the mole that's inside
Fred Savage?
Yeah, that has infiltrated Dr. Evil's network,
or as I call him, Fred Savage.
But because even before it shows him as being the mole. It shows him, he was like, yeah, I got your coffee number 2. And he's like, hi, well, thanks for bringing me in. I'm number 3. And everyone's just staring at the mole on his face. But when they bring him, when Basil's talking about it, he's like, yes, we've had someone infiltrate Dr. Evil's, syndicate. And then he was like, oh, good, we have a mole inside. He was like, oh, it's really good to have a mole inside. And then he shows up and he's like, mole.
If you pay attention,
mole.
If you pay attention to Basil in this scene, he knows Austin Powers.
Yeah.
He knows that when he gets fixated on something, he can't stop.
Right.
So the look of concern on his face is fucking hysterical. So he's introducing him, and you can see Austin he's fighting back, and it's like you see him like Basil's like he wants to say something like shut up.
Yeah.
Like don't fucking do it.
Even right before they get on the elevator, and he's just like, oh, shut up.
Yeah. He's like, nice to meet you.
Yeah. But right when they're waiting on the elevator, and he's just like, mole.
Oh, shut up. But there's another scene where he's like, you know what? Just get it out of your system. Get it out of your system. And like, he just goes off.
He's like, yes, no, it's okay. He was like, just get it out so we can get past it.
But then he gets that random artificial plant that he's got a stick that's poking him in the mole.
I want to chop it off and just chop it up and make guacamole.
I like when they go see Dr. Roboto. Or not Dr. Roboto.
Mr. Roboto.
Mr. Roboto. Yeah. Yes. And then they have the whole thing with the subtitles. You remember?
I do remember. So unnecessary, though.
It was.
I mean, because he's just like, my father's been taken and I want to know what you know about it. And then he was just like, here, eat some shit. And then he was like, I beg your pardon. And then she was like, no. And then she
slides Foxxy, something out of the way.
Foxxy moves the food tray out of the way, and he said, here, eat some shiitake mushrooms.
Very graceful.
Yeah. And but I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, like, this is so stupid.
And then it's like, I have a huge rod.
Yeah.
And then once again,
he's like, God, you filthy potty mouth. And he was like, no, I had said,
I have a huge rodent problem.
He was like, completely off topic.
Yes, very off topic. And then the fountain scene is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Like he trips over
the power cord for the fountain.
Why would the power cord for a fountain be right there?
Why would the power cord even be exposed?
Ever.
I mean, it's
wouldn't.
Like an 8-foot power cord just laying all willy-nilly on the floor.
So instead of just quickly plugging it back in, he just starts peeing into the fountain. Totally unnecessary.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like,
asparagus.
Oh, look, asparagus. Huh, I'm hungry.
I did like that, though.
I did like that it's sitting there on a plate.
Labeled
asparagus. Like, you can't just look at it and know it's asparagus.
That was completely unnecessary, too, yes. Real quick, though, going back to the whole contacts thing. Why... I was going to touch on the fact that, okay, it's 2002, CGI is available now, and you can even see, there's one scene where Austin Powers is flying in a plane that has got all the groovy 70s kind of paint job on it. Yeah. You could tell, it's very obvious that CGI was used to create that. Just like the entire scene where Goldmember is driving that weird car into the submarine.
Looks like a dick.
Yes. Yeah. Look like a cock and balls. Yes. But then they do the whole breaker one night.
Yeah.
Woo! We got ourselves a caravan here. And then you got Dr. Evil wearing the trucker hat.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was funny. But that whole scene where he's driving into the sub, that was all CGI, with an exception of the dock and everything. That part was real. Why could they not have CGI'd Dr. Evil's eyes blue if they wanted him to have blue eyes, is my question.
I don't know. There's so many unanswered questions.
Yes, exactly. But, I lost my train of thought. I thought I was going to touch on something else, but I done lost it, man.
Yeah, I mean, nothing else I can think of. I mean, now it's just up to the audience. I mean, go watch the damn thing.
Watch it again for the first time.
Ever.
Last scene though that does stand out to me is when Mini-Me defects.
Oh,
and he's at Austin's base or headquarters, whatever.
Yeah.
And
I was like, Austin comes in with like a bag of groceries or something. Like, I couldn't see him because he's carrying a bag of something when he walks in the door, because number 3 takes the phone call, so he steps out onto the porch. And he's talking on the phone, and Mini-Me's trying to open that letter or something, so he has a little sword.
The leather opener that looks like a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
to him, it looks like a sword because he's so small.
Yeah, but then it's funny because, like, you know, Austin comes in and opens up the door, and he's like, ah! He, like, throws the bag down.
He immediately...
Like, assassin!
He immediately runs up and punts him across the room. The transition that they use, because you can tell that they use like a dummy.
Yeah.
But so he hits his head on like the mini refrigerator.
Yeah.
But then immediately he gets right back up, and then he does the peace sign.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you want to be friends? He's like, wait a second.
But then he remembers the flashback of when he does it before.
When they were out in space, yeah.
But,
I'm not falling for that again.
And then he grabs like a champagne bottle or something and breaks it. So then
Mini-Me
grabs like the little mini fridge, like Tanqueray or something, and breaks that.
So yeah, it's a little mini gin bottle. A lot of great scenes. Too many to remember, but I mean, for the worst Austin Powers movie, it's still not a bad movie.
No,
it's still funny, but I mean, the first one, the original, has got to be the best, I think, by far. And we may do that one at some point. We may not. You never know.
Somewhere.
You're just going to have to keep listening.
Yep. That you are.
All right. Well, I've got nothing else.
Neither do I.
And we've exceeded our usual time frame, so
that we have.
We'll give you some time back.
Just to decompress.
Yes. All right. That being said, Quotable Podcast out. I like gold.
I'm Dougie.